Welcome to my channel, where we discuss everything and all things politics, economy, and development in Nigeria and around the world. In this video, we're going to talk about the position of the Niger Delta youths on the tax reform bill. That is what we're going to talk about right now, because the Niger Delta youths want the relocation of oil companies' headquarters to the region, and they're also demanding for the reactivation of ports in the Niger Delta so that Niger Delta can compete economically with other parts of the country. That's what we're going to talk about in this video. And if you're new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. The Niger Delta Youth Congress, NDYC, has demanded the immediate relocation of oil companies' headquarters and their affiliates to the oil-producing states. Speaking at a World Press Conference, the national coordinator of the Niger Delta Youth Congress, Comrade Israel Uwajeyan, condemned the systemic exploitation and marginalization of the Niger Delta region. He said, and I quote, "For decades, oil-producing states in the South have been subjected to grave injustices as our resources are drained, our lands are degraded, and our people are left impoverished. Meanwhile, other non-oil producing states benefit from our wealth in taxes, infrastructure, and economic opportunities. These continued injustices will no longer be tolerated." According to Uwajeyan, the recently proposed tax reform bill, with its focus on derivation and consumption-based revenue sharing, underscores the urgent need for those companies to be relocated to the oil-producing states immediately. And he went on to say, and I quote, all taxes, including corporate taxes, VAT, and royalties, must be paid directly to the host states. It is only fair that revenues generated from the oil extracted in Bayelsa, Rivers, Delta, Akwa Ibom, and other oil-producing states remain within the region for its development following the proposed tax reform bill. They also demanded activation of Warri and Sapele seaports, saying that it is inconceivable that in a nation as vast as Nigeria, maritime trade remains concentrated in one state. He went on to add that the federal government's neglect of the Warri and Sapele seaports is a deliberate sabotage of the Niger Delta region's economic potential. These seaports are strategically located and equipped to drive economic growth in the South and Southeast, yet they remain underutilized due to policies designed to favor a particular state, says Niger Delta Youth Congress. Now, this issue that the Niger Delta Youth Congress brought up is an issue that I have addressed in the past, and it's interesting that Tinubu's tax reform bill has thrown it up again for discussion, and leading to the Niger Delta youths making a demand on it. One, I do not understand while the headquarters of oil producing companies, international oil producing companies, or the IOCs, should be located in Lagos. Meanwhile, where they do their operation is in Bayelsa, is in Rivers, is in Akwa Ibom, is in all the Niger Delta states. And could you imagine what this means under this tax reform bill? It means that despite the fact that it is the Niger Delta land that is being violated, being raped by pollution and all other negativities that come with oil exploitation, Lagos is enjoying what ought to go to Niger Delta. Can you imagine what that means? Do you understand what it means? That your land is being destroyed environmentally. You are the one that will bear the brunt. Like now, you know that the oil companies are even divesting. They are divesting, Shell, all of them, many of them are leaving. Those that are leaving have left Niger Delta in ruins environmentally. They are the ones that will pay the price for generations to come. Meanwhile, these companies put their headquarters in Lagos. And when you go by this tax regime, you have a situation where what ought to enter the pocket of the purse of these states will go to Lagos. How fair is that? You even find out that Niger Delta youths, after studying petroleum engineering and other subsets of professionals in the sector, when they write application to work for these oil companies, their applications are sent to Lagos. That is where they will go for interview. That's where they go in oil that is in their territory, under their ground. They go to Lagos for interview to be able to know whether they can work in oil that is deposited in their land. That had always been an issue that did not concern to me and several other people. That is unfair. But I understand the argument why the headquarters moved to Lagos. I was told that it was because of insecurity in the Niger Delta. But Niger Delta has become peaceful, and the youth of the Niger Delta have realized the importance of having peace. After all, it is because of the peace in Niger Delta. That's why we are now talking about the possibility of $2 million barrel per day production from Niger Delta. You and I know where it was when the Niger Delta was restive. When Niger Delta was restive, it was difficult for you to get even 1 million barrels per day. Now we are targeting, from what we gathered, we have now passed the 1.7 million barrels per day. And the next target is to hit the 2 million barrels per day. It means that oil companies are having a field day in doing their job. So there's common sense in what these young men are saying, these youths are saying. Look, you have to relocate your headquarters if you are going to base, especially because of this tax reform. Because this tax reform is going to disadvantage Niger Delta. Because they will be producing the oil, their land will be taking all the negativities that come with the oil production. With all the positivities, 90% of the positivities will go to Lagos. That's not fair. Under the tax reform. That's why there's a need to rejig the tax reform bill to ensure that those that are producing, those that are nature endowed with all these resources benefit the most out of it. You can't be benefiting more just because headquarters was located in your place. That's unfair. I've even said this in terms of, look at telecommunication. The headquarters of MTN is in Lagos. I'm in Abuja and I make calls. Now the communication consumption that I do in Abuja is not recorded for Abuja. It's recorded for Lagos. Lagos take most of the something. So these are issues that need to be addressed, which is very germane. I think they have a lot of point on that. So they are making a demand. The headquarters of oil companies should be as part of the condition for the tax reform. So I hope their lawmakers are in sync with what they are saying as part of the conditionalities for the tax reform takeoff. There is a need for Niger Delta oil producing states to have to be the headquarters of oil companies operating in the region. I think that's that's not a big ask, given what the environmental damage that had happened in the Niger Delta as a result of oil exploration and exploitation. That's a good one. And then they move to another aspect, which is also an issue that I have discussed before: the development of the Southeast ports. You know, all the ports, Port Harcourt Port, Calabar Port, Avon Port, Sapele Port, Warri Port, they are known generally as the Southeast Port. Now, these ports are being neglected by the federal government of Nigeria. They are demanding that these ports be reactivated for the economic development of South, South, and Southeast. I think that is a very good ask. And they made a point that how can a large nation like Nigeria, a big country like Nigeria, only one state is where we have the functional port that everybody is using. Every other ports in the country are operating at a marginal level. So they are saying there's a need to reactivate those ports to also facilitate the democratization of economic development. Because in a situation where you have only one port, only one state is housing all the vibrant ports in Nigeria, it doesn't go well. It doesn't show that we're thinking people. It doesn't show that we know what we are doing as a nation. And people complain that Lagos is congested, there's no space in Lagos. How can you have space when a nation of over 250 million or thereabout, all the importation business must pass through one state? What are you looking for? And you look at Lagos. Lagos is almost being swallowed by the sea, whether we like it or not. Lagos is an endangered species as long as climate change is concerned. Look at all the coastal cities around the world. They are being threatened by climate change, and Lagos is not an exemption. Lagos is small and is shrinking by the day as the ocean keep on making its way through. That's the fact. So why do you need to have so many people there when they could be living in other parts of Nigeria, importing their goods from those states or states that are adjacent close to those ports? It doesn't really make sense to me. I think this young man deserves commendation for bringing up this issue. It's an issue that is not often discussed, but it's an issue that is very paramount. I have said it before. It doesn't make sense. There were evidence that over 60% of containers coming into Nigeria through Lagos ends up in Southeast Nigeria. So if Southeast are the major players in the import and export in Nigeria, especially in the importation business, why do you have to make them all go to Lagos to bring in goods into this country? Why don't you allow Port Harcourt Port to work efficiently, Calabar Port, Avon Port, Sapele Port, Warri Port, so that at the end of the day, the business people around this geographic area will be able to use the port that is more convenient and cost effective. It will even save our roads. You can imagine containers coming all the way, 66% or thereabout of containers coming in to Lagos will now be transported by road. And you now ask yourself, why is the roads in Nigeria not lasting? It's because of things like this. So I think this young man deserves commendation for thinking such futuristically. And the tax reform bill by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has given opportunity for people like this young man to come up with a very fantastic suggestion. And they demanded from, if you read the whole the whole conference statement. They demanded that this should be done in this 2025, reactivation of these ports. It's not a business that should wait. And they put on a hold indefinitely. Say it should be done in this 2025, reactivation of these ports. I think that's a very good development, a very good thing to come out from the Tinubu's tax reform bill. I don't know what you think about this, but whatever is your position, let's hear from you at the comment section. Thank you for watching this video, and if you are not to my channel or have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. And please don't forget to like this video, because when you like it, God will rank it high and recommend it for more people. Thank you, and God bless you and yours.